So today I just want to, I don't know, give a quick just what's on my mind. So as many of you know, I want to say roughly 8 months ago, I quit my job. And a lot of people, a lot of people told me, this is crazy. You just had a baby. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Why would you quit your job? And to people that don't hear from God, I feel like it's very strange when someone just does something crazy. And I feel like with me quitting my job, God had been already telling me I needed to leave that job. He had been telling me to leave that job for 2 years, truthfully. But it was a good paying job. And I kind of liked what I was doing. And I was just telling God no. I was wrestling with it. And you ever wonder why when you're wrestling with God, he makes it unbearable? And that's what he did. He made it so unbearable for me to stay at that job to where it was either continue to be miserable or be obedient and listen to him and quit. So I quit. And I got to tell you, the first maybe couple weeks, it was great. I didn't have to wake up. I didn't have to go to work. I spent time with my daughter. It was great. But then after the 2 weeks, reality set in. And then it was, oh my gosh, I quit my job. The bills are going to be coming. What am I going to do? And God was just saying, I got you. Wait. And I'm like, okay, God, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. And then I started getting anxiety of, I need to fix this. I need to get a job. I need to do something. And it's funny because we want God to move in our life, but we want him to move on our terms, on our time. And he doesn't do that. So while I'm waiting, praying, God, what do you want me to do? Fasting, God, what do you want me to do? He's silent. And I got to tell you, that was scary because then you're waiting, he's silent. Then you start to kind of talk to yourself and say, maybe this isn't what God wanted me to do. Maybe I messed up. And I feel like that's the enemy. When God is trying to move you to a different spot in your life, the enemy comes in with all these negative, you shouldn't have did this. That wasn't a good idea. What are you going to do for money? And you kind of start believing it, because I did. I started to believe maybe I did something wrong. And I continued to wait. And then my resume was on Indeed. And I'm like, okay, well, every job that was calling me, I was either not going to the interviews or just declining, saying, well, I'm not looking for a job right now. And it's funny because in maybe July, I got a call from a school, and I'm thinking, I'm a CNA. What am I going to do at a school? So I was like, okay, God, do you want me to go to this interview? He said yes. But then I'm sitting here thinking, I don't really want to go for an interview at a school. And it's funny because I was wrestling with it. And I'm like, I don't want to go. And God's like, no, go. And I'm like, but I don't want to. And I think a lot of us do that. We fight with God about what he wants us to do. So I ended up going, and I do the interview. And I'm just nonchalant, whatever. If I get it, I get it. I don't. Whatever. And then maybe 4 days later, they called me and they're like, hey, we want to offer you the position. So I'm like, okay, God, what do you want me to do? Because I don't really see myself working with children. Children, I have children, and you have to have a lot of patience for it. So God's like, take the job. And I took the job. And when I tell you, it's crazy because God set me up for this job. It's better pay. It's Monday through Friday. It's on my son's schedule, school schedule. And I actually love it, to where it has got me thinking of switching careers out of healthcare into teaching or substituting or something of that nature. And I look back at it now and I laugh, because if I would have never quit doing healthcare and that job, I would still be miserable. I would not be doing what I feel is what God is calling me to do in this season. And I just want to tell you guys that if God is telling you to do something, even if you think it's crazy, even if it looks crazy to other people, do it. You need to be obedient, because God cannot take you in another season of your life if you're too afraid to leave what you have, if you're too dependent on a paycheck, if you're too dependent on other people, if you're too dependent on a job. He cannot use you. He cannot take you to the next level. So I just want to encourage you guys that if God is telling you to do something crazy, do something crazy. I promise you that being obedient to God will never fail you. And I just want to let you guys know that it works. So that's all I had for today. Bye, guys.